hey, 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 hey. That's what the horses. That's what horses say, and cows. They say, hey, 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 and goats. I think goats say that.
I've never heard them say that.
You got to put your ear right up to them. They kind of mumble it sometimes, especially goats. They go, hey. Welcome back, everybody. It's Rock and Roll Confessional. We're just acting like two little crazy people, but here we are. Rita Wilde, CW, all back.
Yes, indeed.
What do we got? We got some fun.
Oh, yes. This episode is with the band Venice. We were able to reconnect with the band at this year's NAMM show, the National Association of Music Merchants. We saw them there a couple of years ago, too, before everything shut down. But I love these guys so much. I'm so happy with this new album. They're mostly known for their amazing harmonies, ones you might hear from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Eagles, and Steely Dan, but they've made their mark for themselves in the music world.
Following their sisters, known as the Lennon Sisters, the band has been together since the 80s, impressing the likes of Jackson Browne, David Crosby, and Steely Dan. They've worked with such greats as Cher, Stevie Nickes, Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, Brian Wilson, Sting, Phil Collins. Plus, they were the backup vocals during Roger Waters' Wall tour from 2010 to 2013. So you can either listen to them there.
You got to see that in Germany, didn't you?
I did. You saw it here, right? You saw it in L.A.?
Yeah, but you saw it in Berlin.
In Berlin.
Oh my God, that must have been amazing.
It was pretty incredible there.
The band has a new album called Stained Glass, which features 16 brand new songs, all written and recorded in Micahel Lennon's backyard during the pandemic. I love this new record, Stained Glass from Venice.
Sounds so nice. So here we go with our interview with Marky, Kipp, Micahel, and Pat Lennon of Venice.
Okay, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, check 1, 2. 1, 2.
Why do they say check 1, 2, do you think?
It's got consonants and vowels and kind of you're checking.
He doesn't know, in other words.
No. I mean, check 1, 2. It's got a lot of,
different variations.
I like this story.
In other words, he doesn't know.
Hey, such a pleasure to have all four of you on our podcast. This is something that's been long overdue.
It's our pleasure.
So we got Marky on the left-hand side. We got Kipp. We got Micahel, and we got Pat. Hello, how you doing there?
Pat.
Hi.
Pat, yeah. So anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for doing this. And also, the first time I heard magic at a live venue was probably 1970. My first time seeing Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young on that tour. And I just remember this wave of just awesomeness, just magic kicking over me. And I felt that a couple of times live years past. But, it's also important to note when you feel or hear magic on a recorded, like on an album or a CD. Your new album, Stained Glass, gave that to me last couple of days that I've been listening. Wow. I mean, it's really, really good. And I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. That's awesome.
We just got copies of it ourselves today to look at. So it's really
excellent.
Yeah, we just got them in the mail.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Excellent.
So why the name Stained Glass?
The drummer, a Dutch guy named Andre Kemp, who's been collaborating with us for the last 7 or 8 years, something like that.
Yeah, that's 2 albums.
He's also a graphic designer and a huge fan of Southern California culture. He grew up on a beach in the Netherlands that's like a surf beach.
Wow!
So he comes from surf and skate culture. So when he came here, and he found out that Pat knew all those skaters from the old days and that this is where everything happened. That's like his side thing that he loves so much. So he was at a skate shop and he saw some stained glass there, the skate shop in Santa Monica called Rip City. And he said, that's just so California to him, something about it. So at first there was no context. We were kind of like, okay, stained glass is cool. We could make something cool out of that. And then we started thinking about, I don't know, what was the description? It was like,
I think he was saying we recorded and wrote the album on my back patio outdoors, like a screen patio. And he had this feeling we were in like a circle. And he said it's so interesting when each guy would bring in his element of a new song or idea. There was all these different colors and stuff coming in to make one song or one piece of art. And so he thought it would be a cool name to say Stained Glass, because it's everyone like contributing their color to that song. And then the whole thing makes one piece. And it really fit with his love of the stained glass look and the multicolors, because it was all of our different influences coming together to make this record. And it really was a group effort more than normal.
And for us, we also grew up at St. Monica's and St. Mark's Church, and there's a lot of stained glass there. And so it was kind of fun. You know, that's where we got our roots, is singing in church. That's where our family began singing. So it kind of all tied in a little bit, you know?
Absolutely. The last album, Jacaranda Street, was 2018, 2019, I forget, but right around there. So, wow, the last 5 years, boys. A lot of crap went on. How did you survive it all?
We wrote songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stained Glass is a result of that, just the isolation, you know, and kind of going inward, all of us, and just kind of documenting and, you know, journaling and recording and whatever we could to capture these little snippets of ideas that we then gathered together and to continue being safe. Because at first it was still a little weird. We worked outdoors, like I said, on the back patio on a screen back porch, and set up in a circle. I brought the recording studio out there, and we were able to just start throwing out everyone's different ideas. And, you know,
that was the thing where everybody had so many ideas at that point, because it had been a lot of time that we were sitting home by ourselves doing things, either lyrically or musically, guitar wise.
I'd say one of the songs on the album, Empty Avenues, is kind of about, you know, not being able to play during the pandemic. And
just wondering if you're
now getting to play and sing together and write together. It's wonderful.
Really trippy. We just the other day I said, it's almost like it didn't happen. Like it's such an odd time for every single person in the world. Yeah. It's like this time out that everyone was forced to take. And I remember we had a blue tide down the ocean that came out of nowhere right when everybody shut down. And so people were going down to watch it at night. And so Michael and his family came down, and I was down there with my family, but we're all like, we couldn't stand with each other. And it was so weird. And we're watching the ocean glow blue. The whole thing was so trippy.
Surreal,
but with what those guys were saying, what was so fun about this is like, you never know. It's like, okay, I guess we're making another album. Like you don't really know. You have to make something from nothing every time. We aren't just sitting around, walking around with notebooks all the time and, you know, composing all the time. You just jot down ideas, put them in your phone. Michael puts some stuff, Pat. So it's really fun when we sit and then Pat goes, I got this thing. What about this thing? and then I listen to him and I go, oh, that kind of goes with those words I was writing about, you know, growing up and politics and blah, blah. Or Michael will do something and then Marky will say, oh, that kind of goes with what I was working on. And then we just have all this weird organic kind of mix of things. You know, there's a bunch of songs that aren't on this album that weren't quite good enough to go on this album. But most of them are gems. We're just so happy.
Yeah.
I noticed that it seems like, is it Kipp and Marky? Are you the ones that really do the lyric part? Or is it really a combination of everybody?
We have to bounce it off them to make sure that they like them, because if there's, you know, so it's everybody, but it's mostly me and Kipp, I guess, and Michael writes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lead singer or the person that brings the initial lyric idea or the song topic is usually the main lyricist. And then we gather to, like, you know, fine tune it and do that kind of stuff. Or like I have one song that I sing on the album. I wrote pretty much all those lyrics because it was something I was saying. Kipp has something he says. Mark has a lot that he's saying. And then we kind of get together like, oh, I think that line's better than that line. Or I love when you said that. Why don't you do that again? You know? Or,
there's a lot of fine tuning.
Yeah. And then we go to Pat at the very end and we ask him to bless us. Yeah, or we get stuck on one word. Is this lame to say, or is that better? And we just look at Pat and he just nods his head yes.
It's interesting because it's one of the advantages of being a family is that we've known each other our whole lives. So yeah, we drive each other crazy in a different way than other people would, but we also love each other in a different way, and we know the best of each other. So Marky can tell me honestly, I think your voice sounds better when you sing it in falsetto than in full voice. Or Michael can say to Marky, I think let's work on that lyric a little bit. And then he trusts that we're letting him have his vision, but we're helping him tweak that verse or tweak this. What if we go into this kind of a bridge? It's like we're this team that can't break up. So we know the best in each other. So we'll go, yeah, that was a good solo, but I think you're better than that or whatever. And it doesn't hurt. Nobody gets hurt feelings.
Or don't do any more solos. It's great the way it is. It's got an organic thing to it. Don't keep like fixing it because you're taking the life out of it.
And if we have an idea and we really, really want to stick to it, and they go, "Oh, we don't really like that line." I go, "Just trust me, just live with it. Trust me. Then they'll be okay. You're right. That you're right."
Yeah,
it's really great.
It's kind of because we grew up in such huge families. Pat and I come from 12. They come from 13. And that means family trips and stuff. It's kind of backwards, but sort of minority rules in a weird way. If so-and-so doesn't want to go to that restaurant, but everybody else does, kind of like, oh, but she hates that. Let's just go somewhere.
Pick something else.
Pick something else. So in a weird way, we're used to getting a feel for, and then if all of a sudden it's like, Pat really doesn't want to do that song on this album or whatever, then it's like, okay, we'll save it for next time. Like we're just used to that, And what's hilarious is if we ever have newcomers that come in while we're working on the album, vocals, and if they're singers, they just are blown away by how quickly we do everything because we don't have to pull punches. Not even punches, but we don't have to tread lightly on anything. We just go flat, rotten, do it again.
It's so true because we hired an engineer to work on one song with us. Micahel usually does all the engineering.
Right.
And it was amazing. It was like pulling teeth, getting him to stop. It was almost
like you need to rewind. We can do that again.
Mistakes. We know our mistakes or our pitches have to be just right, or we're not going to like it. And Micahel is so quick, or even like stopping in the middle of a note. That's horrible.
Yeah.
And we all know it.
And nobody goes like, "Hey, that was my best take."
Yeah.
It wasn't your best take.
And the time we had the guy, it took all day to do just what we would do in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, because the guy would stop and go like, "Okay, guys, that was great, but I really think it's like, yeah, come on, just go."
Or he'd let Mark or Kipp sing like the whole verse, and I'd be like, "The first word's out of tune." It was driving me nuts. I just wanted to get my hands on the controls and like, stop, rewind. Let's go. But it's really interesting because there's probably I think like 4 songs on the album that we actually used the recording from the back patio, which was just on a $100 Shure SM58 like we use on stage, but there was something so magical when we did it that it was just captured there, and then I was able to take it in the studio and put vintage compressors on it and make it sound as good and as big as I could. But there was just some magic that was captured there that we tried to redo with a really nice mic in the studio. We're like, it just doesn't have that thing.
Because there's something about sitting there in our shorts and t-shirts
black and blue
outdoor. You can hear cars going by and everything else. But there's just something about the vibe that we're just,
Yeah.
And I must say, Mark Harris, our bass player, I don't think we replaced any bass.
No,
every note was part of the demo. And it was so perfect and so spontaneous.
Yeah, and melodic.
He didn't want to change anything. It was perfect.
He was shocked. He kept going, "When am I coming over to fix everything?" I go, "I can cut and paste little things and slide things, but I'm telling you, we're not touching it. It's too good." Because there was just a lot of spontaneity that happened in that circle in the back patio that we just didn't want to lose. We did replace the drums with real drums. We had electronic drums for the writing and the demos. And then we went into a real studio in the Valley at a friend's, and Andre replaced all the drums. But other than that, a lot of that stuff was captured, and we just kept it because it was just the magic of all of us working together at one time and putting it down,
It does have that live feel, but not that live, but it just feels very organic, very, very, very real. You guys and your harmonies, I'm sorry. My God, there's that's where real magic is in those harmonies. I mean, it's spiritual in a sense that it's just, just so there. I want to say, where did that come from? But it reminds me so much of like so many great songs from the 70s that were really perfected. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Some of like Jackson Browne and Eagles. I mean, the harmonies on this album and in your live show also are just amazing. How do you do that?
Years and years of just doing it.
But it's funny, even when we were kids, it was like, well, that's what we do easy, or it kind of doesn't take us much time to work out the harmonies,
We have tons of other siblings, and we all kind of grew up in a house, both of our houses, where that's just a normal thing. You don't like sit down and do a show for everybody. I mean, you do for fun, but I mean, mostly it's just everybody singing along while you're just doing whatever in the car, in the house. We all grew up, like a bunch of our other siblings could have easily been in a band as well, but we just happened to be the four that ended up perfect timing to be in the band together. But we're so encouraged all the time for harmonies and music to be a fun thing, like a game, instead of like something that you achieve and you get perfect. So we're not really thinking in terms of perfect, really. I mean, we don't want things to be out of tune, but it's more about the feeling, not to get too like hippy dippy about it, but it's about like, whoa, that felt really good on that bridge. And then Marky adds a sort of carpenter's note to something and we go, whoa, that's so cool. We're just trying to keep enjoying it. And then if the end product is something that's great, that's great. But it's mostly about us standing there and going, oh my God, Pat's voice is perfect on that high part or whatever it is.
Yeah, or try switching. And
yeah.
Kipp does it with a full voice and Pat goes to the low or something. It's just little things that we figured out over the years.
And sometimes we can't tell who's singing. Is that you or me? I think it's me. And it's like, nope, it sounds just like me. And so it's really cool.
We go to do songs from like a few years back. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that, Rita, and CW, that sometimes we will do a song that we haven't done in like 4 or 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. I don't know. And so we bring it back. And then we're listening to the regular track of it. And you can't tell who is doing what part. I'll call Camper. Well, Marky, who's singing that? That's me. I go, no, I think it's me. It's really hard to tell.
I mean,
but part of it is because of the family blend.
Yeah.
Sometimes like Carl Wilson and Brian Wilson, you can't tell which. They both have beautiful falsettos. Yeah. They are different, but there's times when you're like, man, which one is that? That's so good.
Yeah.
It seems like this album, you guys, and maybe this is Michael because he mixed it and put it together, but it seems like you guys emphasized the voices more than Jacaranda Street. I felt there was more instruments on Jacaranda, and this one I kind of felt like there was just more of an emphasis on the voices and less on the instruments.
Oh, wow.
But maybe that's my imagination.
No, I think I purposely realized how loud vocals are on some of my favorite songs. We're always trying to make sure that the band sounds big and great. We don't want to like diminish the background of what we're singing to. So, but I definitely use certain plugins this time that I hadn't used before. There's a famous one, like a LA2A vintage compressor. It's like a limiter. And I use that like on everyone's vocal just to give them extra bigness and size and really make them, speak to you and sound, warm, but big. And I'm glad you noticed that because I intentionally wanted to make sure that we didn't like hide behind the track,
Yeah.
Thank you, CW. I'll send you flowers.
I'm going to have to listen again.
Yeah, the production is absolutely great. Let's get into some of the songs. I always listen to music like an album. That's the way, I wasn't on a vinyl, it's not out yet, but it will be soon. But like side 1, side 2, but I think it'd probably be a double album actually.
Yes,
but side 1, I put that on and it's just so mesmerizing. The first song, Call It Human.
Mm-hmm.
My God, that was a great starting place.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. We really take a lot of time, but sometimes it comes easy to us. But we really take a lot of time to make sure. Okay, what do you think it would be good next? What
the song
these
order.
guys are. I let Michael and Kipp kind of deal with that. It's really good.
Yeah,
easy love all the ideas.
That song's funny because it was Michael's groove idea and melody. Da 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 da. And so originally his intention was, and then, we'll write a verse that does that melody. Da, 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 I was walking down the street one day, da, da, whatever. And then I happened to have this chorus I'd written, just words. And then we sort of organically, all of us in a circle, sort of made up everyone is broken. I sang it to everybody with my lyrics over his chords. And everyone's like, yes. And I remember Michael kind of got choked up because, it's kind of a universal. It's kind of a universal thing, like, okay, maybe we should stop saying broken. because that's everybody. So maybe that's
we're all fucked up.
Yeah, maybe that's
a little bit. So
Here,
the
not a
factory
little bit.
settings.
it didn't sing as well to say we're all fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the factory setting is that we're all imperfect, and that's the whole idea. So anyway, so then I went home and started writing some lyrics about the verses, about we all this and we all that. And it just wasn't as nice as Michael just plain old going down, 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 down. Like there is no verse. It's just him.
It's almost meditative. Like you think about the words you just sang, and then you get to ponder that while I'm playing the do 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 do. The melody.
Right. There's no verse.
Come back and we just say it again. It's like a chant.
And then it's Marky and me, and then it's the third one is Marky and me and Pat, and it just keeps building until we do the bridge, and then we talk more about it. But I don't know any other song in pop. I mean, we've listened to rock and pop our whole lives, and I've never heard a song there's no verse.
Maybe Whiter Shade of Pale would be the closest thing, where it's like this whole melody that happens without the vocals.
So many lyrics.
Because there's so many lyrics.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
It's nuts.
I mean, there's a lot of lyrics on the bridge and all that part of it that we added. But
right. But as far as like the verse is just instrumental.
But I think we just said that'd be cool. Let's just leave the verse, the guitar melody.
It's so beautiful. The melody and the guitars in the backgrounds are just so good.
It kind of brings more attention to his lyric idea to leave it alone after that.
Yeah.
Like I said, let you think about it
and not
while that
overstate it.
melody's playing again. It's like hypnotic in a weird way to me.
Call it human. Love it.
Call it human. Yeah.
Going down the track "Fool's Gold." It's another great one.
Yeah. That was your
that was right? Started with I had all the music written. I had in COVID I was going stir crazy, so I went online and I took a banjo finger picking class. And I got these weird, normally I do the normal landslide picking or helplessly hoping, Crosby, Stills, Nash. It's called the Travis pick. It's very boom, 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 boom. And you do this very simple thing. Well, this was like, it's like this backwards, made my brain like kind of flip around. So I started playing around with these normal, simple chords with that weird banjo pick that you wouldn't normally do on a banjo. The chords, I did it on a guitar. And I came up with that opening riff is totally just like a finger exercise.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, it's kind of minor and a little bit dark. And then I came up with going to like a major on the Fool's Gold. That whole part was like a brighter, opens into a major key and kind of is a release. And I had the music, but I didn't have any melody over that part. So
it was just Kipp just start making up the verse. It's like there's a something here, there's a something there, a little something, and then it's like look at and what do we come with Fool's Gold?
Because it was the idea that we
Kipp
all
had the idea, I think, of chasing chasing
things that just don't add up to anything.
Unattainable.
Yeah, and even when you get them, they're not going to add up to
happiness.
What you were thinking.
When is enough?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Wanting the best car, wanting the best house, wanting the best.
That's champagne. I want the VIP booth. I want the
Gordon Gekko, like how many boats can you ski behind?
Yeah.
It's like that.
How many gold toilets can Trump have?
Yeah, exactly.
But that one really came together, and that chorus always reminds me of Steely Dan.
Yeah,
the way the vocals come in and the chord change. Yeah,
is that the one where you throw in the Steely Dan line?
No, that's later. That's
Avalon.
We'll get to that.
Okay. And then Marky's tune, Odds and Ends.
Odds and Ends.
Yeah, Odds and Ends was the music Michael had. And so it was just sitting there doing,
guitar melody again.
The guitar melody again. And while they were writing another song, going over another song, usually you have to go out of the room when someone writes a song because you got that in your head. And I said, no, I'm going to sit here. I know the melody. I know, so I tuned out everything. And I wrote the words in about an hour or 2 hours. And because I wanted to write about all my ex-girlfriends, how I'm still all best friends with them I'm gay. So now it's all my ex-boyfriends. So all my exes, I'm still best friends with pretty much.
That's really cool.
Bridges,
and they're friends with each other.
And they're friends with each other on Facebook. And they come to my parties and we all go to their parties and we all get along. It's the craziest thing in the world. So I go, I have to write a song about that. And I wasn't planning on it, but I just at that moment I said, I got to write a song about this. And Odds and I don't know how it just flowed out of me like a muse. It was something. It was really, really great.
Track number 4, Morning Star. I know that there's a story behind this and how wonderful that somebody like that was in your life. You know, I can think back like one or two teachers in my life that, you know, made a difference, impact.
Right. When I was growing up, I always thought I was going to be a cartoonist or an artist or something like that. I didn't ever think I was going to be a singer. Everybody sang, but never even occurred to me to be a singer, really. And so throughout high school, as I worked my way to my senior year, I got rid of all my requirements and I was just doing, what electives they called it. And I just kept choosing the same art class because Sister Jean Morningstar was a nun that taught at St. Monica's. And she had this amazing art class. She had KNX FM playing all the time.
Wow.
Which, sorry. But,
No.
That was our favorite radio station too.
I wasn't even in radio then, but I was a big listener of KNX FM also.
okay, good. Yeah.
Huge.
It was amazing how their sound was.
Such a difference from like top 40 radio and from FM rock radio. To have KNX FM was really influential on me. So the whole time I'm doing painting and whatever, I'm listening to music from that era, 72, 73, 74, 75, in that era. And Sister Jean Morningstar just had this amazing atmosphere in her class where she really taught you to bring out the best in yourself. And she could tell when you were faking it and when it was genuine. And so the most important line in that stuck with me all the way to becoming a songwriter is, you know, you showed me the beauty where the empty spaces are. She would say, what makes a painting great is that you don't cover the whole thing with paint. And what makes the song great is if you don't cover the whole song with everything, you have to give space and let it breathe, and conceptually as well. So that always stuck with me. And I said it a million times throughout my growing up, but I never thought to write a song for her. And all of a sudden it was like, wow. I want to thank her, because those rules, art is art. So it just applies to everything. And so we wrote it, put it together, and I sent it to her. I emailed it to her. She's still alive. She's in her 90s.
Oh, wow.
And she lives up north, and like, you know, those wherever the nuns go to retire. I think it's the same place where you give your dog and they say a nice family has your dog. But anyway, she's still just spry and happy and she's sharp as a tack. She's the coolest lady. And she made that atmosphere so great that's what the song is about the colors and the music and everything. And so I sent it to her, and she was so touched. And she said, you just never know after a lifetime of teaching people who you influenced and who you didn't, and whether you made a difference at all. And she said, this makes such a difference to me. I'm going to play it for all the nuns here. And I'm just so touched. And thank you so much. And, you know, I had no idea, kind of thing. So
now we have nun stalkers.
They're going to be moshing in the front, so be careful at your shows.
We're going to have a festival called Nunstock.
They're actually all backstage. They all come backstage because they're very, they're divas.
Yeah.
They're divas.
They're habits.
Only black and white.
They made it a habit.
Did you guys all go to school literally at the same school? I mean, were you guys that close?
Yeah,
So we all went to the same grammar school.
Same grammar school.
Catholic grammar school in Venice.
We all walked to that school because we all live right by the same intersection, and the school was right there. So we all walked to the same school, 1st to 8th grade. And then they went to a different high school. Pat went to Venice High. They went to St. Bernard's, and I went to St. Monica's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Track number 5. Good God, I love this song. Blame It on the Milky Way. It's just infectious. I love it.
Boy, that one was from scratch, wasn't it?
No, it was the music I had. I just didn't have any melody for it.
Okay.
So I had the bum, 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 that riff. It reminded me of the old Motown thing, like Smokey Robinson or something, or Supremes. So I had that riff. And then I had that, again, like the more upright, beautiful chorus chords. Blame it on the middle, that part of it where it lifts it again. And then I brought just the music of that to the guys, and then again they just started trying stuff over it.
And that was a real collaboration. Like, they were sitting right next to me.
We were like sliding the Family Stone, like whoa, 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 whoa. Then what did we put there? Then we actually used a whoa, whoa, whoa in as one of the verses because it was so good. And
so then we thought, okay, so what about how come
real quick? It's kind of sounded like something we said. And the fake lyrics, when we make up a song, you make a fake, blame it on the Milky Way. It sounds like you're saying blame it on the Milky Way. What if we said, blame it on instead of blaming it on the stars,
move in a little.
Okay. Instead of blaming it on the stars, what about the Milky Way, which is 10 times powerful than just, the stars and so then we had really, a lot of fun with that. And so
It was kind of like that magic that happens. You know, you can go to a party and everybody's there. Everybody wants it to be a great party and music's there and the food's there and, you know, it's okay. But there's something that happens sometimes that's different. And all of a sudden it just kicks into a different thing. And that's kind of how this song, we wanted this song to feel like one of those nights where, we didn't know what was going to happen. Then all of a sudden, blame it on the Milky Way. Like it's this written in the stars. We're going to have a good time. You know?
You know, at our last tour in Holland, Micahel had a track of that. And we hadn't really completed it.
Yeah.
But it had pretty much
mix.
the rough mix. And we put it in the house speakers when we were doing a sound check one day. And our keyboard player,
Who is
from
that?
Holland, he's going, who is that? That is so cool. And our sound man too, Dick, right?
Yeah.
And they're going, wow, this is unbelievable. Who is it? And we're going, it's
It was
Our new album.
a big sort of outdoor, little amphitheater kind of thing. But to hear it on the big speakers, it was like, hey.
Yeah. And Kippy was doing like big Michael Jackson, like, you know, like that was in there back then.
Oh, that's right.
very infectious, that song.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing to hear that one live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Imagine
about
that's
meeting someone at a party and you think, like, you know, we're going to take it slow. We're not going to make out, you know, and then you end up just making out and probably even having sex. You know?
Who wrote that one?
That was,
three.
we just like sort of in the room, and then Marky and I, and a little bit you lyrics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the chorus, it's funny, because we just have so many influences that don't necessarily aren't as obvious, but like when we rode it on the Milky Way, we were thinking of Gino Vanelli, because he was great, you know?
Yeah.
You would never, it's total Gino Vanelli, but we added to this Sly and the Family Stone thing, and you'd never even know it, but you know, that's what we were thinking.
There's a couple of topics on here that I just think are so important to talk about, because it's like, I'm a very patriot, you know, I'm a patriot. Yes, indeed. That Will Stevens song, Jackson Dad. There's so much division in this country right now that I don't know what we can do to make the orange turd go away, for one thing, or just, you know, basically to wake up people. You know, this is your life. You have democracy in your hands, and you better take that seriously.
Yeah, that's what we say. So where do we go from here? What's the question?
but you musically, you have a couple of songs about that.
Black and Blue.
Yeah. Black and Blue.
Black and Blue, and Together Soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sort of two sides of the same coin in a way.
And the Black and Blue actually was another example of where one person brings something, another one goes, "Oh, I have something that might fit into that." Because I wrote the guitar part, the original guitar part. Kipp goes, "I have some words that just might fit," and then the Black and Blue is just so great. And it's a very short little song because those words are so perfect, just what they say right there.
Yeah, because I think what's interesting about that song is that it's about being baffled that the people who you care about and that you seem to have so much in common with are supporting something that seems so opposite of what you all were raised on. So it's not about saying you're wrong, we're right, you're a bad person, we're the good people. It's more about going, how did this happen? We went to the same schools, same rules. We all knew a jerk when we saw him in the neighborhood. Our parents would go, "Oh, that guy's a blow," you know, and we would know. We always kind of knew. And then somehow this thing happened where even though we were all raised on the same standards and the same everything, there's this division about what's good and what's fair and what's kind. And
this comes down to what news you watch, because there's two different stories going on.
Yeah.
And if you grew up watching Fox News, it wasn't a big deal. But if you continued watching it in the last 10 years, it completely changed, and it's just an alternate reality.
Yeah.
And, you know, in my song Together Soon, I was trying not to be too divisive and point the finger like Kipp said about the other one. It was more like, we got to figure this out. We got to agree on what the facts are. We got to agree, you know, we got to find a way to come together, because we're sharing, this is all of our homeland, and we have to find a way, or there's going to be, you know, there's going to be a civil war if we don't find a common ground here.
I think it's nice the way Micahel phrased it, because he said, "I pray we come together soon." Yeah. Not, "Hey, everybody, let's come together," because that's a different generation. That's a different sort of, it could seem naive or sort of too like pie in the sky kind of thing. But he's saying, "I pray we do." Like, I hope this happens, because it might be too late if we don't, So it's a
Scary.
nice. So both of those songs together is like a 1-2 punch of like how that makes us feel. And in the bridge of Black and Blue, we say, we each think the other person is the one that changed.
Right.
On both sides of the aisle.
That's a good
And
point.
so it's calling it on ourselves as well. You know what
That's
I
a
mean?
good point.
We all think I'm not the one who changed. You're the one who changed.
Right.
I still.
But we're right.
But we're right. yeah.
We know that,
We know
Pat.
we're right. Yeah. When
And I'm just wearing orange because I thought it looked good, and then I realized what color it was.
Oh, no. That's, yeah. See, I didn't even go there and think that. No, but it's just, something that I care about so deeply. And I know that all of you do as well.
Us too.
very much so. Yeah.
I had a question for Marky about Patience of a Lion. And I don't know if that's something you want to talk about. I just thought when Kipp kind of sent a quick little one-line description of it, I thought that was really interesting that you had written about.
Yeah, I forgot. That's another.
I'll let you explain if you want to talk about it. I don't know how.
I don't care. It's another song I forgot that it was kind of had, the pandemic. It was stemmed off the pandemic. I had, just a fun little jaunt, of a 3-year romance, because we were all stuck in COVID, and this person was alone and I was alone, and I realized they was safe. And so we had dinner, and we know each other for a long time, and we had dinner. And then one thing led to another, and we just had a great time. And so it turned into a kind of a romance. But then I realized it's not right. It's not the right person, 100% not the right person. But, still kind of, I don't know, would dabble with it. I don't know how to explain it. But then, just saying, hey, this, I don't think this is right. If we can't tell the world, because he wasn't out to the world. So if he's not going to tell anybody, then it's all kind of pointless anyways. And I knew that from the beginning going in, but I wanted to make him kind of notice. So
I would think it would be hard to hold back on your end being out, that you've got to now kind of like watch everything that you do as not to expose anything that for him.
Right.
And make it really complicated or make it really hard on you to be yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
That's why I never use his name, Jemmy Starwell.
Jimmy Star.
Jemmy, I couldn't even think of a name. Jemmy Starwell.
Yeah, but like his main lyric, that the very last lyric of the song is, if we can't tell the world, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, if you want to hide this, then I'm not into it.
Yeah.
Wow, these are some good songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be a good album.
And I don't think he'll listen to this podcast, so I could say his name, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
No.
But the line "Patience of a Lion" and that whole thing of like, there goes my phone again. Was he kind of he would bug
Yeah,
you?
it was like, he'd have a few drinks and it'd be a booty call, sometimes. But most of the time it was dinner and we had a wonderful time. But then there were some times it's like, okay, this is I'm not going to be a booty call.
It was
Yeah.
fun. It's fun when through the decades, you're writing songs and all of a sudden something enters into the vernacular, and there goes my phone again. That wouldn't have been in any song 10 years ago or 15 years ago,
Right.
and yet, little things
phone,
like that, like there goes my phone again. I love singing it because you can see people's faces going. Like that's what we all say now.
Right. We don't say there goes the phone because
Yeah.
you held the phone. Now it's my
Yeah.
phone. So
Right.
that's a futuristic.
Kind of fun.
Good point. And Kipp, you have a new relationship that you've written a couple songs about.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
this guy's just beaming, It's just like he's just.
We met Nadia
at the NAMM show.
Yeah, we met her at
Yeah.
NAMM.
And that was a great set, by the way. That was an
yes.
excellent set.
That's
Oh,
so
it's
much
so fun.
fun to play it. And for those of you listening, the NAMM show is like a national association of music merchants convention. And we're lucky enough to be asked every year to play. And we do like a double set in the lobby of a hotel there. And it's so much fun to play for people in the industry. A lot of people would say that's the opposite of the truth. But for us, it's fun because we know so many people who've been around so long. And you can see that people from all different kinds of music appreciate what you're doing. Even though it's, you get no sound check and it's crazy loud and everything else.
Oh.
It's just so fun to see people like you guys there and see everybody there and be appreciated after all these years of being together, Yeah. So the two songs I wrote about Nadia, I knew Nadia 30 years ago. We all did. She was a singer that we knew. And then she had a life and had a kid and got married. And And, I didn't see her for 30 years. And I just met her again a year and a half ago. And we both have been married and had kids. And now there we were. And while we were working on this album, Marky's looking at his phone and he goes, "Hey, look who's in town." And he shows me her photo. And I'm like, "Hey, oh," and then we reached out to each other, and then that was how it happened. So the two songs are Beautiful Flower, which is about her life in Hawaii, because she spent half of her life in Hawaii, and about just her personality. And then the other one is a really cool song. The Beautiful Flower one, I sort of came up with the idea by myself in my house, just singing into my MacBook. You can hear the cars going by and everything else, but just to give him an idea. And then we fleshed it out. But the other one, Souls Connected, is about our first sort of date walking on the beach or whatever. But that all came from this great groove idea that Michael had. And then we were just making up stuff, sitting around in a circle out on the patio, going, doo, 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 doo. We just wanted it to be like soulful and fun. And so a lot of times, every album, in fact, we just sing a bunch of gibberish at first, unless somebody has lyrics ready to go.
Right.
And so, and then Marky will go,
It's so cool because all of a sudden someone will go, "That sounded like you said whatever the words are," and they go, "Oh, keep that. Let's keep going." And maybe that might be the start of the song.
But that one didn't lyrically. You didn't get finished till the very end.
Very end. Like I thought, okay, it'll be
towards the end of mixing.
Oh, that's right. We almost didn't even.
We just turned it down, and it'll be on the next album. And then Michael called me one night, and he goes, "You know what? We need something to finish the album, and that jam at the end is so long. It's so like FM radio long solo at the end, like jam. And let's just listen to it again." So that I come over and I sang it to him. We were like, "Screw it, let's just add it on because it's got a
Soul Connection or something similar."
it wasn't.
And then I said, "What if he said Souls Connected?"
Right.
Made it simpler, like.
Yeah.
But Kipp wrote all the lyrics. It was just kind of like a last minute, like, we got to finish this song.
Yeah.
Really cool. I love it.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have two, song when you're going through a big change in your life and you're falling in love and stuff. You have different ways you want to express it, not just like one song that captures everything. Just like anything we all go through.
Right.
There's different aspects. If we lose someone, we'll write a song like Family Tree, but we'll also write a song about the memories of them or whatever. So in the same way, when you fall in love, you have these little outlets where you just want to write different things. So it's joyous. It's
Nice.
I think it's great. I can't wait to see this music live. I have to ask you about, I think you're playing it at Coach House, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
May
Huntington Beach for California people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Huntington
At
Beach. And then,
not Leisure World. What?
the Beer Garden.
The Beer Garden.
the beer garden. Oh yeah, that's different. Yeah, that's our cover band.
Old
That's
World.
Mountain Logs.
Old
yeah.
World.
Old World.
Yeah.
Old World.
Not
yeah.
Leisure World.
Yeah, that's our cover band.
Same thing.
Our cover band is the Pine Mountain Logs, and we're playing at the Beer Garden in Old World or whatever it's called. And but that's a different date. That's a different show. The Coach House
May
is
18th.
Venice, May 18th.
You mentioned a lot about the Netherlands. What is it about the Netherlands that is just so cool? I mean, I know so many artists that do great over there, and it's like music that I love, and it's like, why? What's in the Netherlands? I mean, besides, it used to be Amsterdam, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was the thing, but it's just such a beautiful country.
It is. It's amazing, and for people to categorize and think of just legal prostitution or drugs as the Netherlands, they're missing out on an incredibly rich and beautiful culture, old history,
And
beautiful,
really
country.
nice people. They really love good music. I know everyone loves good music, and every country does, but I don't know.
I think one of the reasons it comes together for people there is that it's a concentrated, small country where if you're on the TV, you pretty much reach the whole country. If you're on the big radio station, you're pretty much in the whole country. So you're able to focus that energy in the art to like a small section of people, and it's like dense. It's like there's all the cities are right now. we can literally tour throughout the whole country for a whole tour.
Yeah,
we're literally like in the size of,
it's 1/4,
not even half of California.
1/4 of the size of California, or half of California.
It's like our size of Arizona, I think.
And it's a whole country. It's like not even as big.
And Amsterdam's basically in the middle. So we stay in Amsterdam, stay at the same hotel. We don't have to check in and out of hotels.
Oh, that's
We just drive out, do a gig, drive home, day off, where the laundry is, where the restaurants are, sleep in the car, and all because a guy that loved what they call West Coast music, our kind of harmonies and stuff, which is weird because people on the West Coast weren't thinking we're imitating. I mean, we love the Eagles and Steely Dan and Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Those guys are from Canada and New York, and but somehow it's become known as the West Coast vocal sound to Europeans. And this guy was a big fan, and he worked at a German dance record label, and he got on import from Vanguard the Born and Raised album, and he asked his boss if they could release it on this dance label. And he said, okay, I guess. So he released it. It didn't do well in Germany, but in Benelux, Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, the record store owner found it, and he started playing it.
JD.
Wow.
And so he played it for this guy, Jan Dawa Krushka, who was sort of like a
American Bandstand. Name Dick Clark.
Sort of like Dick Clark meets documentary
More
guy.
album guy, less of a pop guy.
Yeah. And he had his own sort of like MTV Unplugged kind of show that everybody watched, and a lot of big American artists and international artists were on the show. He fell in love with the album. We didn't know any of this was happening. It's like the Big in Japan phone call. Yeah. We literally, the album came out on Vanguard. It's the mid-90s. We're enjoying it. We're going back and forth across the country playing college radio and stuff. And then all of a sudden we get this call. You've sold 3,000 records in the Netherlands.
Wow.
We're like, we don't know anyone in the Netherlands.
Come over and do a show. We're like, okay.
We didn't even know the difference between the Netherlands and
Holland. We didn't know exactly.
And Denmark and, like all that. We just didn't know. So we went over there. The guy, they said they want you to do one show, and then in the morning we're going to go to his house and you're going to film this MTV Unplugged kind of thing. Yeah. So had we known how it was going to change our lives, we had no idea. So we just go and we do a show for about 150 people, but they knew all the words.
They came up to us with CDs and even Simpson soundtrack CDs, like Kipp the sign, because he did the voice on The Simpsons. And
so anyway, and then the next morning we filmed this show. We're all tired and whatever, and we filmed this show and like
live acoustic show.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And Michael, just like Michael said, the power of television in a country like that. We were sitting in people's living rooms doing these concerts for millions of people, like 45 minutes of airtime.
A show of just us playing songs live and interviews.
Yeah.
And
this is like in 97 or something like that.
That was how it started.
And then the next time we came back, the very next time we came back, everything was sold out and everyone's singing all the words. And there's just this openness, like Marky said, they're just open. There's no ageism. There's no category. Like you could look out and you see a guy wearing like a Slayer T-shirt, and then an old lady, and then but they don't care. They just want to feel good. They just like music and they want to support it. And we're generalizing about a culture, but for the most part, it's like that. It's all different people, different races, and they all are just there to celebrate music. That's why we can play festivals there that we could never play here. We played a festival. The lineup was a big band from there that you wouldn't know who they were. They're like, legendary. But then Pearl Jam, Korn, Moby, and us on the same stage.
Oh my
same day.
On the same day in the same stage.
Well, that's pretty eclectic even right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they don't care. They don't care about all that stuff. They're not. They just want to see a good show.
Celebrate music.
Yeah. So
and the people in line waiting to meet us, and we would sign autographs. Every different kind of person, even like a Marilyn Manson lookalike, right in line looking at us like he really likes us.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, what?
And I'll tell you what's really trippy is that now, because that was 98, 99, 2000. Now we've been there long enough that the children of the people that were our fans when we got there are now in their 20s. So they grew up with our music.
That's nice.
We see all this influx of young people and they're standing in line and we're like, what are they? Why are, and then they go,
my mom.
Yeah, my mom played your record when we
this is my newborn, second generation, third generation of Venice fan.
It's really crazy. And we do meet and greets after every show. That's a big part of it too, is we've got like a friendship going with people. Sometimes it's nearly as long as the show.
Yeah.
But we sign things and we take photos and people bring us photos And, just some man standing there and he'll go like, and then he'll go, this is when I first met you. And he's like a 7-year-old sitting on the table.
Yeah.
And we're all, we look exactly.
Now he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been going there over 20 years,
26 years.
sometimes twice a year. And
Yeah.
so it's just, it's a
It's a
wonderful
generational thing where they're
and we get
supportive.
letters from them saying, our marriage was on the rocks. And because me and my wife both love your song, da da da, and then we came and saw you. Now me and my wife have something in common. I get choked up. We have something in common. Or my daughter was doing drugs. She was being a bad girl. She was with the wrong kids.
Yeah.
We forced her to come see your concert, and she fell in love with Kippy or whatever. And we joined family stuff.
That happens
it's
a lot.
Crazy. It's wonderful to get letters like that.
Yeah, it really is.
World.
It's so emotional. And so at the meet and greet, we'll have strangest things happen. People will go, it's my wife's birthday. And, we'll sing whatever, that typical kind of thing. But we were at an outdoor thing and a guy had somebody come whisper in our ear that he wants to propose to his wife in front of us, to his girlfriend. And he proposed at the meet and greet. And we're all standing there.
I hope this works.
Yeah.
Not sure if we want to do this.
And so a lot of people in the industry there and here, they'll go, you sure you guys want to do this? Do you hate this part? Or people in line, they'll go, you don't really like this part, do you? And I'll say, what if you had someone waiting in line for an hour to tell you that they like you?
Yeah.
Would you hate that? Would you hate that? It's only support. It's all just support for what we do. And we don't, it's not like about ego, like we're better than you are. It's none of that. It's just this cool celebration of the culture and the music. And people are given permission to be super sentimental when we do our shows. We talk about it, we choke. Sometimes we can't even sing. In fact, if you told me just this one little story, our song, The Family Tree, is like our most popular song there. And it's memorializing people that have passed on but hopeful. And our mom, their aunt, this is about 15 years ago, passed away 5 days before a tour was starting in the Netherlands. We went, by then we'd been going to the Netherlands for a lot of years though. So we're playing, the very first show is on Mother's Day in the theater in Amsterdam, and
the Royal Opera House.
It's beautiful. And it's Mother's Day there as well. So they don't know, but we all discussed, okay, we're not going to be able to sing The Family Tree. This is going to be really hard. So Michael was like, let's just be honest with the audience and tell them what's going on. So Michael's got the guitar. The four of us are standing at our mics. And I say, so often this song has consoled so many of you and helped you with your grieving process and everything. But tonight we need you guys to help us. And then I explained that our mom, their aunt, passed away 5 days ago. And, it's Mother's Day at home as well. And so if you could help us, that would be great. So he starts the guitar. And all I can say is branches. That's about all I can get out. The branches. And I just start crying. And I swear, just like a movie, the whole place starts singing. They all stand up and they sing the rest of the song. And we don't sing a note. Michael's wiping his tears. Michael's wiping his tears. We can't sing anything because now it's such a fitting tribute and such a beautiful send-off thing. And they're all singing. And we're just feeling like the luckiest people in the world to have that kind of audience. So who needs hit songs? You got that.
I have to tell the one funny story. People always say like Kippy looks like Jackson Browne. I know you hate this, but Kipp looks like Jackson. Oh, he looks like Jackson Browne. And this one guy, he was a big farmer guy, didn't really speak any English, and he slaps down his Jackson Browne album. He goes, sign my album. Kippy said, I'm not going to sign your album. I go, please just sign it. We got to get this guy through. And he signs Kipp Lennon. He goes, no, not Kipp Lennon. Sign Jackson Browne. He slammed his hand on the table like this big, huge hand. You look like Jackson Browne. Ooh.
What are you supposed to say to that?
Did you sign Jackson Browne afterwards?
No, I just signed my name. I don't think I signed Jackson Browne.
I know, but anything to get the people through.
Yeah, that's great.
In fact, Jackson joined us a few times. We joined Jackson when he was on tour in the Netherlands. He would have a day off and join us, or we would have a day off and he'd be playing at a bigger venue there, and we would go sing with him. We've had some. There's a live
David to it.
And David couple times did David Crosby.
David opened for us at
an outdoor thing.
Yeah.
But with Jackson, it was fun. It was Thanksgiving, and he said, "Hey, I'm staying at the hotel right by you guys. Why don't we have Thanksgiving dinner?" So we're all in Amsterdam, and we go and have at the American Hotel. And he treated us all to Thanksgiving dinner, and then we went to his show and we sat in with him,
Rotterdam,
him acoustic by himself, nobody else. And we have a live CD of that somewhere. And it is so great. It's us doing the best songs with him, and then him doing like Song for Adam and songs like that, where we were backstage just going, listen, because not often you get to hear him just on his guitar without anybody else. And you forget what a great musician he is, besides being a great songwriter and singer. And so we got a lot of great memories like that as well, too.
I was watching a clip from one of the shows that you did at Santa Monica High with all the kids and stuff like that with David Crosby. And he loved you guys. I'm sure you knew that. And he called you his favorite band. But during this show, he was saying that there's only 5 people that know this song. And you guys did Guinevere. And oh my God, I got chills listening to the harmonies on that you guys did.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I think it actually started him playing with, because towards the end of his life, he started playing with a bunch of young musicians
and bands,
and actually little bands and stuff off and on. But he ended up doing Guinevere a lot. So there were, at that time, there were maybe 5 people that knew that song, but now there's a lot which I think is cool.
Yeah. And he was, he was famously a curmudgeon to some people, but he was never that way to us. He was always, he'd break our balls a little bit about stuff, but only in a fun way. He was always super nice and right. He was really supportive and gave you guys his signature guitars and he was really generous to all of us.
Yeah. One time I walked off stage and he was standing behind the curtain and I said, "Goodbye, everybody." Walked off and he jumped me and held a real knife. He pulled out a real knife, held it to my throat. "Hey, you motherfucker, I'm going to steal your voice. Why you sing better than me?" I go, I tried to talk. I modeled my voice after you, Mr. Crosby. I knew he was kidding, but it was so scary. And I was really sharp.
I think people like that, a lot of times, they're so used to so much reverence or so much fandom going on around them that they aren't used to being around a bunch of people that A, grew up around showbiz, so we don't take it as seriously, and B, want to joke around a lot. So I used to live in a house down the street here, and we had a studio there. And he came. I don't even know why he came. Was it to rehearse for the show?
To rehearse or something.
Anyway, he spent the day in our studio. It was one of the first times we ever knew him. And we were just being cool the whole time and joking and hanging out. And then as he's leaving,
we walk him out to
his car, and he backs out of my driveway right out here, and he starts driving down the street. And then we all go running down the street after him, going, "Bye, Mr. Crosby!"
Bye. He's running like Beatle fans.
Yeah. And all we see is his window, it says Cros on his license plate. And you just see the window of his car and his hand comes out like this.
I was thinking exactly the finger.
I think he really loved that we gave him as much shit as he could give up.
Yeah.
And Pat, I know when we saw you at NAMM, you were playing a guitar that he gave to you.
Yeah, it's a D28 herringbone, 1985 Martin. And he gave that to me. Jackson saw us play Guinevere at a little club in Santa Monica at my place. So Jackson heard us do Guinevere, and he told David, "You got to come hear these guys. They're actually doing Guinevere." At the time, David said, "No one does Guinevere." So David came, we did it, and I couldn't afford to have very nice guitars. David said after that show, he came back and he goes, "I was crying out there. It was so great." So the next time he came, he goes, "I want to come sing it with you." So he came and I let him use one of my guitars. It was like a month later or something. And Michael and I and David all played in different tunings, Guinevere, and he just loved it. But right on stage, when he grabbed my guitar that he was going to use, he said, "I can't believe Pat plays these shitty guitars." I'm kind of sitting there going, "Well, I don't know what to say." So we were doing a recording. He was almost going to put one of our songs on one of his albums, a solo album. And we recorded at Jackson's studio. So we went and spent a day at the studio with them. But David called me. He said, "Don't bring any of your guitars. You can use one of mine." I go, "Cool." So we get there and he's just got this bank of Martins, probably 10 or 12 or something. And he kept having me try this and that. Unbeknownst to me, all these guys in the band are walking around, coming around.
We got a video of it somewhere.
And standing watching. I'm going, "What the hell?" David goes, "Try this one. I think you'll like this." And it was a 1985 D28. It was the, I think, 150 year anniversary of the Martin guitar. So it was a special guitar, and they had given it to David. He goes, "Try it." So I tried it. And I go, "Yeah, this is beautiful." He goes, "I am sick of you playing shitty guitars. That's yours." And I look around, all the guys going, yeah. He had 12 down. So that was really
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
But-
awesome.
a little end to that one is that I had it on the road I just beat it to shit, and it's still beat to shit, but it's the best guitar ever. We were in Holland in the Netherlands, and we had this guy that was a replacement guitar tech for one night, and he was so nervous. We were playing a song that it was just Micahel on guitar, the four of us vocals, and he was going to bring me my guitar
around the back of the curtains, right?
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
And
David Crosby was hiding.
No.
yeah. And so all of a sudden we finished the song. I'm waiting for him to bring me my guitar, and I hear this kabong. And I went, that was my Martin. And I turn around and the neck is broken right off of that guitar. Completely two pieces with the strings dangling. So anyway, trying to make a longer story shorter. We got home. I was getting it fixed, but David came to a show and he said, I think Kipp had told him, I heard you broke a guitar. And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, I have this one here. I just got my signature models. And Martin gave me 10 of them.
250 made.
They only make 250 of them. The D18 had his name inlaid in mother of pearl.
A sailboat on the head.
Sailboat on the headstock,
Yeah.
the Mayan.
Oh, my
And he goes, hey, try this. So I'm playing it. We're all sitting around. And he goes, yeah. So I gave number 1 to James Raymond, his son, who plays
Yeah.
keyboard. Number 2 went to Graham. This is
Nice.
number 3. It's yours.
Wow.
What? And then he gave Michael number 4.
Then he
Wow.
felt bad. He goes, Michael, come up to my house. I got something for you. So I drive up to San Ynez, opens his garage, starts ripping the plastic off this guitar case, starts throwing the paperwork. I'm going, give me that. Like I wanted to collect everything. And he gave me number 4.
Wow.
Wow.
Because he felt bad after the show. He goes, you played your ass off. I come up to my house. And we sat on his bed and looked out his big bay window to his horse stables and just like doodled guitars. It was just, it was unbelievable.
He was an
But
amazing
what a
guy.
generous guy.
Yeah.
I got 250.
Dollars or guitars?
Then they were boring.
It's one of those surreal moments because we were playing the Libero Theater when he gave that guitar to Pat, and
Santa Barbara?
in Santa Barbara,
Okay.
and it was just us and Noah Wiley from ER because he was David's neighbor, a really good friend of all of ours, nice guy, and Jeff Bridges and David. So we're in this room with a bunch of famous people. It's always weird to be with famous people anyway because it's just weird. So they're just a little different. Their head is so famous. So anyway, so Jeff Bridges is like standing there, and so he's like, "This is great, man. He's giving you guitar, like." And it was so weird. So now we're playing Guinevere for the first time with Pat with his new guitar, and we're all in this room together, and it was just those weird little magic moments that happened.
Ooh.
By the way, I just want to say something. It just happened, and we want to say what a great guy Gino Michelini was.
Mm.
Supported our album when it came out. He played our album more than any DJ. I mean, Bob Coburn was the first to play it, like at noon, whatever. But Gino constantly supported our shows. He would come and introduce us at our shows, constantly play whatever the new singles were. And he was a great guy. So for those of you who are listening, he was a legendary KLOS and KOME up north, right?
KMEL in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's where I
Yeah.
listened to him.
Yeah.
But he was very proud of KOME, the come spot on your dial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't touch that dial. There's cum on it.
That's classic Gino.
Yeah. So he had us on his show so many times and he was such a big supporter. So I just wanted to make sure we say that because, we lost another great one.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That was just, I don't know, a week ago or so, I think.
Yeah.
It's past weekend.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
weekend.
So for those listeners, he was just one of the DJs that Rita and I both worked with for many, many years at KLOS and passed away, unfortunately.
I'm very happy to say, though, that his cat, Bud, is being taken care of by April Whitney, who was a DJ at K-Rock
great.
and several different
yeah.
places. So
That's great.
she's just a wonderful person. And so I'm
That
very,
was the first thing I thought of because he always showed photos of how much he loved his cat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
So
sweet.
that's a good ending there.
Not to be a downer. I just wanted to say,
No.
sure,
And,
sure.
it's all appreciated. I mean, it's been a tough couple of years. I mean, Jim Ladd also, and
Yeah.
it's Jim
Dusty
Ladd.
Street,
Yep, Dusty Street. Yeah. So-
another
Yeah.
K-Rock DJ.
Yep. And
When
she
we
was
were-
at
yeah.
KLOS early years. Yeah.
When we were doing the Santa Monica concerts like we did with David Crosby and stuff, Jim Ladd invited us to come down and promote the show on his show when he was still at KLOS, on Sunday nights or whatever it was. And we went and we brought Fee Waybill with us, who we hadn't even met yet, but he was doing the
We
show
met him in
with
the
us.
parking lot.
We met him in the parking lot at KLOS. Like, hi, nice to meet you.
Lovely.
Yeah. And I forget who had told him about our show, but somebody, once we got the reputation as being a good show with a high school orchestra and a high school choir, and that's a good band, and, that it wasn't Mickey Mouse, that people wanted to be on board. And so we met him in the parking lot. We go in, we meet Jim Ladd for the first time. Now we're meeting Jim Ladd and Fee Waybill, and we're doing like Talk to You Later and She's a Beauty and all these things on acoustic guitars.
Oh my God.
It was so
good.
great. And Jim Ladd was, of course, he's Jim Ladd, so he was just so great.
He showed up a lot on the road with Roger Waters when we were singing.
Yeah,
with
definitely. I think that's the first time I met you, Marky. I think was at Roger Waters at
Radio Chaos?
No, it wasn't
No,
Radio Chaos.
the
It
Wall
was
tour.
one of the walls.
Yeah, Jim Ladd did the Radio Chaos tour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's
so you guys all
Staples
yeah.
or
Arrowhead.
Oh my
Pond.
God.
Yeah.
That must have been fun.
Well, that's where I met Marky, Kipp, and Pat but it was in Germany.
Oh yeah.
During the halftime show, Kipp was kind enough to get myself and my wife tickets to the Wall tour or to the show there in Berlin. So we briefly went down and said hi during the break down there.
That was surreal. That was really being in Berlin.
In Berlin.
In Berlin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys have had an amazing life. You've done all sorts of other things, but you guys have done a lot of other different things outside of the band. Can you name a few of those, or if you want to?
Yeah, I did the Stevie Nickes tour in '91, I think,
wow.
right after our first album on Modern Atlantic. And it was like a 2-month tour, like her greatest hits, called A Whole Lot of Trouble.
That's
tour.
greatest hits.
Yeah, not greatest
not
hits.
greatest hits.
that was an incredible. And the drummer on that was the drummer from our band Venice, Scott Craigo, who ended up going to the Eagles and is still to
30 years
to this day is the drummer for the Eagles. So they stole him away from us.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Michael was the guitarist on that.
Yeah, guitarist
That's all I've done.
with Les Dudek, and they had an amazing band.
Jim Andes.
And Mark Andes.
Mark Andes.
Yeah.
From Heart.
Yeah.
And then I sang for a while with Phil Collins, with Cher. That was really fun. She was great.
Was that a tour thing, Marky?
Tour. It was to promote the Tarzan movie. Phil Collins was really short. It was to promote the Tarzan movie. He did the soundtrack for. It was really short. Phil Collins.
I said,
I thought he said it too.
Yeah. He is short. I worked with him. No,
Marky set him up on his knees.
so that was really fun. I sang with Carl Anderson backgrounds and Amy Keys. Carl Anderson
Amy Keys, really?
Yeah, Carl Anderson is James Taylor's background singer. So then I did
No,
No, you're talking about them.
you're talking about
Arnold McCullers.
Arnold McCullers.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Who's Carl? Oh yeah, Judas. And then I did Cher for a while. That was great. That was a couple of years, and
You were her boy toy.
I was her boy toy. I was in the Star magazine after 18 months without love. Cher finds love with new lead guitarist. I don't even play guitar.
Stevie Nickes.
Yeah.
That's
in
what
the
it
band.
said.
Yeah.
They got
From
a
Stevie Nickes. Yeah, from Stevie Nickes. It was
lead
like
guitarist from
rock.
Stevie Nickes band, which was me.
He's on
Good
the
research.
She loved to
Great
run her
research.
fingers through Mark's hair. It was like 1992, I think.
How'd that wind up? That
And Marky's
relationship.
Our relationship is still good. I saw her recently, and she remembered me.
Okay.
But she used to work a lot with Kipp's sisters, the Lennon Sisters, and they were on the Sonny and Cher show. She was on their show. It was just this, years back when everyone used to be on each other's show. And she goes, "How are those people? Oh, I love them so much." And they asked me what sign I was, and I'm an Aries. Oh, Cher doesn't get along with Aries. You might not get the job being a background singer. And she said the only reason is because I love your cousins, the Lennon Sisters, so much. And then she ended up being my favorite, best friend in the world.
Oh,
I made her take us dancing. I made her take us to sushi. I made her take us out to dinner. Like they're not all these people are used to yes people being around them. Like, okay, what does Cher want to do? I go, you're taking us to sushi. We've been here every night. We have nothing to do. You're taking us to sushi, or you're taking us dancing. Come on, the dance place right there. Take us dancing. She's like, okay, guys, we're going dancing. It's like it was so fun. The band's like, how do you do it? I go, I'm just this regular guy.
Treat everybody real.
Yeah.
We tried to get Roger to take us dancing, but
No, but Marky got Roger to have a big party. At his,
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
We were in
Roger
Switzerland.
Waters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We were in
at the-
Switzerland,
at the
and-
Golder Grand where they filmed Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
One of the most expensive
Wow.
hotels in the world, I guess. And Roger had the whole penthouse all to himself and had a 360-degree view of Switzerland. Alps in the distance, Lake Zurich down below, or Lake Geneva, I can't remember. But Marky said to him, "You have that great place up there. You're all by yourself. You should be having a party for the band members." And
2 nights off.
I remember he's going, okay, we'll do it. And the next
Wow.
night he had this catered party for all of us.
Yeah.
We just went up there and hung out. It was beautiful.
You know, it's funny. We were talking about Stevie. And so Marky and I both have had careers as session people as well. I've talked to you guys about that, you know, being on The Simpsons and that kind of stuff.
Which your
And-
episode got banned. I didn't realize that.
Did it? Because, yeah, it did. It got
Because
taken
of the HBO special a couple years
Right.
ago.
because of Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah.
It'll
Oh,
probably
wow.
be reinstated at some point.
It's
but
probably on YouTube.
anyway, and I've toured with Sergio Mendes a little bit, believe it or not, and with Ambrosia lately a lot. But, you know, over the years, we've all sort of played with different people. But I was just going to say, when Michael was talking about Stevie Nickes, back in those days when our first album came out, we were managed, her co-manager was our manager. So, and he lived with Stevie as well. So we saw her a lot when we would go to his house to, you know, work on songs or swim in the pool or whatever. She was around a lot. So we all became kind of pals, you know. So she asked us to open for her on a couple of shows. And that was great memories, incredible, like playing, we'd never played arenas before. And that was unbelievable.
And he had us sing her encore, which was Landslide.
Yeah.
Michael would come out and play it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sing harmonies with her on the last song.
And
of
she
the
took
night.
this way before Michael ever played with her. And she told Michael, "You're the only person who can play it like Lindsay." Because Michael, that plucking he was talking about earlier, not that many people have learned that the right way, and he does it the right way. So she said, "We're going to do Landslide again. I haven't done it in ages." This was like in 91, probably something like that. So we're in Denver and we're sitting backstage and we're just sort of waiting. And the concert's going because we know we're the first encore. So she's finishing up the show. And Michael goes, "I get to be the guy right now. I get to be the guy who plays the opening chords of something and the place goes nuts. I get to be that guy." And so we went out and sure enough, she goes, "I haven't done, but I'm in Denver now, and I'm finally doing this up in the, you know, the mountains or whatever." And then he starts, and the crowd goes, "Woo!" And he just looks over at me like this.
Yeah.
And the crowd was going nuts. And that was the first time we experienced like what it's like to be in an arena. And during Marky's song, when we were opening, I realized that the spotlight guy was following me when I went to get a drink of water. Like, oh, I got my own spotlight guy. So I walked all the way across the other side of the stage to Pat, and he thought something was wrong. Like I was going to tell him something was wrong. And I go, "The spotlight guy has to follow me wherever I go." And then I walk back, and it's all the way across the arena.
And then he looks back at me like, "See?"
And the next morning, we were so excited. And then the next morning, we got the worst review of our lives, but it's so good that it's the funniest thing ever.
Oh my God.
Somebody was clearly just we were saving this and they used it on us. We get the newspaper, we're driving, we're getting back in the bus, we're all just triumphant. We got a standing ovation in the opening act. And we pick up the newspaper and it says a whole review of Stevie Nickes. And then at the end, it said, "Opening act Venice is to real music like Taco Bell is to true Mexican cuisine."
Oh my God.
We were like, yes. We were so happy.
I'm glad you guys are so egoless that you actually laughed at that.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? There's always going to be people who don't like what you do.
Of course.
You know,
One
we
kind word, you know,
Yeah.
You know,
right?
I like that.
New song, one kind word. It's just like, you know, like 100 people, 99 of them could say you're the best.
yeah.
You know, but one person could say, you know, that
Right.
sucked.
And they are the one writing the review.
Right.
You know,
And you
99
take that, you know, a lot of people just take that with them and, you know, close out the 99 that said that
Right.
you were great. So that's
Yeah.
why I appreciated that song to the album.
I mean, you know, it stings, but over the years, you just laugh.
Yeah.
And we've learned to laugh about all that kind of stuff, you know, because what are you going to do?
Rita, I love your fireplace.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a cool fireplace. Actually, to be honest, it was if you've seen Griselda on Netflix, it's the one with Sofia Vergara. She plays.
Yes, yes.
the cocaine.
Yeah, the drug.
Yeah,
This room was used in that.
Oh shit!
Oh my golly.
I gotta check it out.
So and they blow my house up too. So it was cool. It was great.
Is that very thin brick?
It's a different kind of brick. Yeah, it's a 1929 house, so it's like it's got some really cool things. And that radio there was given to me by Jim Ladd. So I'm in the process of redoing
cool.
the furniture and stuff in here. So
Wow.
Did they leave any cocaine? But possibly.
We haven't even talked about drugs.
I went all around searching. Yeah, but no, it was cool. I know we're long on time, and I think next week, Kipp, I think you're having a birthday, right?
I am. Yeah.
And then I
we're
know Marky's
flying
having
on
a
March 12th.
birthday.
And then
the
Marky's coming
area,
up
so
too.
at the end of March. So
Yeah. We're actually flying to Europe. We're actually flying to Europe on March 12th, on my birthday, to do like a 3.5-week tour of theaters in the Netherlands with the new album coming out. So we're really fired up. We're really excited about it.
Excellent.
So the album comes out when? Or is it out?
It's out on streaming March 1st, and vinyl is in record stores April 12th officially, but available at all the live shows.
And then you have a great, tell us about the double album, double vinyl.
Yeah, that'll be available at all the live shows coming up, and will be in stores a week before. It's called National Record Day, I think.
Record Store Day.
Record Store Day?
Yeah.
It's coming out the week before Record Store Day. The double album, the vinyl.
Great album, guys. Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that.
Thank you.
We thank you so much for everything that you've always done for us, for the radio people. And I just wish you so much luck with this album, and and good travels and safe travels. And
We hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Maybe you can come out to the Coach House and introduce us. That would be
you got
nice.
it. TW and I.
That'd be great. I would love that.
That's so
I think it's
great.
May
You guys
18th.
could come up and introduce us. We would be thrilled. That'd be
Okay.
great.
Very
Done.
cool. Thank you for the offer. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
And
Thanks,
go,
guys.
and go Dodgers.
Of course. Sorry.
Oh,
Angels.
Sorry, we stole your man. Sorry.
I'm never going to get over it, but I'm still always an Ohtani fan.
Okay, talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the
Appreciate
great review. That's
Love
amazing.
you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
it. Thanks to the guys for spending such quality time with us.
So much fun talking to those guys. It really was. And
So talented.
so talented. If you can get a chance to go see them, I know they're doing a lot of shows in the Netherlands, but they're doing a few shows in Southern California. So, you know what? And the shows they're not the big shows. They're just little, Coach House and places like that, Canyon Club. So you're not going to have to break the bank going to see them, but you'll have an amazing time.
Yes.
So check them out. Also want to thank Chris Tortolano for helping us coordinate the interview and send all the great fact sheets and music and everything to us.
Venice's new album, Stained Glass, can now be streamed wherever you listen to music. You can find the CD in record stores on March 15th, and the double vinyl set will be available on April 12th, 1 week before Record Store Day.
Yeah. And if you want some more information about Venice or to order via their website, or if you want the tour dates, just go to venicetheband.com. Follow Venice on social media. Facebook and Instagram is also Venice the Band.
Check out our show notes on our website.
rockandrollconfessional.rocks.
There you can find links to some of the subjects we talked about in today's show, also including links to order the new album, tour information, and some great videos, including the entire Santa Monica High School fundraiser concert featuring David Crosby and some Pine Mountain Logs, also videos. And also thanks to them for mentioning our longtime colleague, Gino Michelini, that he was a longtime supporter for the band.
Yes, he was. Want to thank all of our supporters. It's easy to support us. If you haven't already, please help spread the word by sharing the podcast with your friends. Also by subscribing, so as soon as the next episode comes out, you'll receive it. And please just write a review, follow us, or comment on Instagram or Facebook. We would really appreciate that. And that's it for now. We got some fun, great stuff coming up. Stuff we're waiting on official answers on, but it's just waiting time. It's waiting.
Yes, indeed.
Summer's coming up.
Oh,
albums are being released
with the new sunshine out. Oh my God. It's like somebody turned on the switch. It's like, okay.
Don't you feel peppy and ready to party now?
No, I feel peppy and ready to go out and do stuff I need to do. Like my taxes.
Oh, tax time. Oh, yeah. You enjoy that.
You know I will.
All right, everybody.
Love you, bud.
Love you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.